Hello, my name is Gary Owen. I am the president of Owen Insurance Group. I live in Stuart, Florida. I've been here now for the past 40 years. So the topic of discussion this morning is for all of you, everybody who lives in these United States of America. And the topic is of something that is near and dear to my heart, that each and every one of you have dealt with personally or know someone who has gone through it. And we're talking about the C word, because cancer is coming for you, whether you know it or not. But the question is, what happens next? I want to share some startling cancer statistics. And let me preface this by saying that most of all, or if not all of the statistics that I received come from the American Cancer Society and or cancer.gov. So in 2024, there were a little over 2 million new cancer cases. 2 million. For cancer deaths in people who are under the age of 50, colorectal cancer is number 1 in men and number 2 in women. The median age of cancer diagnosis is age 66. The most common cancers, of course, we know is colorectal cancer, breast cancer, lung, and prostate cancer. 49% of cancer occurs between the ages of 55 and 74. 49% between the ages of 55 and 74. 63% of cancer diagnosis occurs in folks between the ages of 45 and 74. 63%. So if you're sitting here listening to this and you're between the ages of 45 and 74 and you have not yet been diagnosed with cancer, number one, thank your lucky stars and thank God. And number two, you need to get prepared for that day when it does happen. Because don't sit there and think it's not going to happen to you. Everybody says that. And then I get people telling me, well, the cancer's not in my family. So it's important to note that 75% of cancer diagnosis today is due to the environment, 25% hereditary. So you just can't sit there and say, well, there's not cancer in my family. It's not going to happen. So my advice is to not keep your head in the sand, right? Because you are not an ostrich. 40% of men and women will be, not can be, not maybe, not possibly, but will be diagnosed with cancer at some point in their lifetime. 40%. So the statistics are getting grimmer for Americans. But hope is not lost, right? So it's projected that the number of new cancer cases diagnosed each year will almost double by 2030. Guys, I mean, we're in 2025. This is February 2025. In 5 short years, we're looking at a cancer diagnosis being doubled in 5 years. It's insane. But the good part of all of this is that cancer survivors are 3 times more likely to survive. Also, what happens with cancer diagnosis with patients is that we see that bankruptcy occurs exponentially in those families that have a cancer diagnosis. Care can be expensive. I mean, we all know that. And surviving a cancer diagnosis can create a serious financial hardship. So the initial answer is to invest pennies on the dollar in a first diagnosis cash benefit cancer policy, which can certainly help. And this is a great segue now for me to bring in Kathy Prosnewski, who is my life partner, who just went through a cancer diagnosis, and she can speak to you personally about how much it not only affected her life and her health, but financially as well. So, Kathy, say hello.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.
So, did you ever think, Kathy, that you were going to get diagnosed with cancer last year?
Absolutely not.
And nobody does, right? So, we all go through life every day thinking that, hey, well, we don't even think about it, first of all. And then we know about somebody who's been diagnosed with cancer. We think, oh, God, this can't happen to me. This is not going to happen to me. So walk us through, because I know in the beginning, it was a hard thing. You didn't believe it. It's surreal. It's not really happening. You didn't accept it. So how did you work through that?
I think I'm still working through it. You don't think about the financial aspect of getting a diagnosis. I think it's more emotional and mental.
Sure.
The hardest thing actually wasn't even hearing about it. It was telling my family. But yep. I had awesome support, friends and family that came to my aid. That helped both emotionally and mentally. Financially, though, it was honestly an afterthought because you just think about surviving. That's it. Didn't know what was to come with my treatment other than what I read on Google. And what you read on Google is totally different than what you're actually experiencing. So it's a hard road.
Well, let's talk about the timeline. I mean, because August 9th was the day that you heard from the doctor that you were being diagnosed with cancer. So that happened on August 9th. So we're happy to say today, I mean, here we are in February 2025, but it was an aggressive cancer diagnosis and an aggressive cancer treatment. And so the end of December, you've got some good news.
Yes, I had a clean PET scan that will show any activity of cancer in your body. And I have another repeat PET scan coming up next month as well, and some special blood work. So it's still ongoing, probably for the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. I will have to go and visit the oncologist every month for blood work, port flushes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the cost of what those are, what you run through, and the bills that came in the mail, which was just staggering, quite frankly, overwhelming. And so many of you here are watching today have been diagnosed with cancer, so you get it. You understand. If I could stand on the tallest mountain in the world and shout out to all of you who are listening, wake up, people. I mean, we don't ever expect things like that to happen to us, but with these statistics, it's coming. Cancer's coming. The question is, are you prepared? And what are you ready to do? Right? So let's talk about a cash cancer plan. So again, with a cancer policy, and it's strange that so many people don't understand that there is a cancer plan out there that's available for folks. So the first thing that a cash cancer plan can do is that it can replace lost income while you're unable to work. I mean, when you are going through chemotherapy, you can't even walk down to the mailbox. So how in the hell are you going to work, right? I mean, how can you keep it together? How can you run a family, cook and clean, go to work, and do the things that you were used to doing, and now you're utterly dead tired, you're bedridden, and you're sick? So that's the first thing. It can replace lost income. Number two, can offset cancer treatments that's not covered by traditional insurance. So you may have a type of cancer that may require experimental cancer treatment. That's not covered by Medicare, and it's not covered by health insurance. What the heck are you going to do? You're going to sell your home? You're going to file bankruptcy? Those aren't great alternatives, are they? So that's what a cash cancer plan can do also. You can also pay for transportation to and from your appointments. I mean, let's say that you want to go to one of the top 3 cancer hospitals and oncologists in the country today, which is MD Anderson in Texas, or Sloan Kettering in New York, or Johns Hopkins in Virginia, right? So you be able to take the money the proceeds from your tax-free cancer plan and where the benefits are tax-free, and go to whatever hospital, whatever doctor you want to go to. Flying there. I remember when I was in Texas coming home one day, and I was sitting next to a lady, and she had just had treatment at MD Anderson in Texas, flying back home to Florida. And so that's what the monies and the proceeds from a lump sum cash cancer plan can do as well. It can provide hotels and meals for families so they can be close to you and help you and support you while you're going through cancer treatment. Or, God forbid that, the cancer can't be treated and you have so much time to live on this planet. Take that money and do what you want to do. Go on a vacation that you've always wanted to go. So you have the freedom and the flexibility to use those funds how you see fit. And I know Kathy, we met almost 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And one of the first things I told her was, you should invest in a cancer plan. And she goes, there's no cancer in my family, typical New Jersey style. So it was good that she paid attention, heeded my advice, and purchased this lump sum cash cancer plan. And Kathy, what did you spend? About $50 a month?
$50.06 to be exact.
$50 a month, and your benefit was how much?
$40,000.
So that's not bad, right? To exchange $600 a year to get $40,000 tax-free lump sum cash benefit. So she paid for 7 years, $600 for 7 years, right? $4,200 investment in a cash cancer plan, hoping that you would never have to use it.
Correct.
Nobody wants to have to get a lump sum cash and the benefits of cash of a cancer plan. So, but in the unlikely event that it happens, thank God you're protected. I mean, we spend ungodly amounts of money on cars,
coffee,
automobile insurance, homes, homeowners insurance, going out to eat, drinking, buying cigarettes, and all these other crazy things that we do. But we don't want to spend $50 a month to protect our quality of life and health. Something's missing. And I'm not sure I know the answer to that. You do. And if you say that I can't afford it, well, I say BS, because these plans are certainly affordable. And depending on which lump sum you want, $10,000 to up to $50,000 in $10,000 increments. So, Kathy, on August 9th, you were diagnosed with cancer. Then on August 23rd, you finally got around to file a claim with the insurance company. And then you received your check from the insurance carrier exactly 1 month later on September 23rd.
Correct.
Going through cancer diagnosis is horrendous. Going through treatment is horrendous, what you have to go through. And then, of course, in late December, you've got the good news that the cancer was in remission because you had a great oncologist.
Absolutely.
Who genuinely cares.
Yes.
And was there every step of the way and a lot of support. And then finally got the remission. So that's the great news, because if you catch it early, obviously the chances of recovering it is exponential with today's technology. So the best part of this, I'm not going to mention any carrier names. I'm winding down here right now. So let me finish and conclude by saying that, number one, the best part of signing up for this cash cancer plan is, number one, there is absolutely no hospitalization required. Number two, there's no physical exam required to apply. Number three, only health in the health of the applicant is considered, so they don't ask health questions of your family. So typically, some of the carriers want to know, was there a cancer diagnosis in a parent or a sibling? There's no tobacco questions. So you could be a cigar smoker or a cigarette smoker or vaping. So there is no, on this specific carrier, no family history questions, no tobacco questions. There's only 3 questions on the application. It's very simple. And the money is paid directly to you. And it pays in addition to the insurance that you have that covers that cancer diagnosis. So typically, you had a $9,300 MOOP, or maximum out of pocket.
Correct.
That $40,000 that you got lump sum tax-free benefit that covered
My out-of-pocket.
your out-of-pocket expense.
Correct.
What would you say to people who are watching, Kathy, who don't have a cancer plan?
I hope you have savings.
Lots of it.
I hope you have a lot of money in your savings account, because you're going to need it. And it's not only the treatment while you're going through cancer, but you also have to think too, after treatment ends, you still have doctor appointments and honestly support. It does change your life.
And the ones that you love.
Oh, definitely.
So just to kind of give you an idea of some of the costs. So each time Kathy went to her oncologist visit, 540 smackaroos. A PET scan, just one PET scan, $6,900. A chemotherapy treatment was $27,000.
And that's for my treatment. The treatment can be different.
Correct.
It can be more expensive.
A hydration visit, which is required the day after a chemotherapy treatment, $29,000. Labs, each time she had to go for treatment, she had to have labs drawn, and that was $529. So as Kathy said, if you don't have a cash cancer plan, hopefully you have good insurance, and not so much of a high deductible that most of you do have today, to cover these expenses. I mean, it is not a joking matter. So in closing, let me say this. It would behoove you to consider a cash cancer plan. I mean, the premiums are so bloody affordable. Just to give you an idea, for $10,000, so the MOOP that Kathy had on her plan, on her medical plan, was $9,300. So let's say if you went with a base minimum of $10,000 benefit for someone between the ages of 45 to 49, where the statistics begin, right? 45 to 49. Doesn't matter. You're a male, it's $10 a month. For a female, $12 a month. You can afford $10 a month, right? And if you're a married couple or cohabitating, a family plan for the husband and wife and with kids is only $17 a month. So instead of paying $22 for a husband and wife, or a male and female, you're only paying $17. That's a 30% savings. And then also, if you do an annualized premium of $187, you save another 10%. So that brings that cost down to like $15 a month for both husband and wife. So keep in mind that it's affordable. If you have questions, feel free to give our office a call. You can dial the number below at 772-210-1020. Ask for Kathy. Kathy can help you with a cash cancer plan to get you enrolled. Doesn't matter where you are in the country. We are licensed in 42 different states. So, and then in closing, I'm going to make you a guarantee. I'm going to go on record, and I'm going to guarantee you that you will never, ever get diagnosed with cancer if you buy this cash cancer plan. Now, I know you're sitting there saying, how in the heck can this man sit there and say that he's going to guarantee that I'll never get cancer if I buy this cancer plan? Well, I'll put it in writing for you. And if I'm wrong, the company's going to pay you out $10,000 up to $50,000 in a lump sum benefit. Okay. So again, consider investing in this very important policy. Trust me, you'll be glad that you did. Give us a call, 772-210-1020. And thanks for tuning in. Kathy, any final words?
Call us, 772-210-1020. You will not regret this decision, and you can make it doable for your life.
And ask for Kathy. She'll get you set up and take care of you. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.